Hello everybody and welcome to the introduction of our Voreen use cases. In this video we will present use case A, a simulation for a given geometry. We begin by opening the Voreen application. Under Template Workspaces, select Load Workspaces from File. Then navigate to the Modules, Flow Simulation, Workspace, choose Use Case A and click Open. In the middle we can see three views that will display our simulation results. On the right side we find the Properties panel where we can configure our simulations. Starting with the Input Geometry panel, we can select a geometry file. In this example, an aorta file is already chosen for this predefined workspace. Optionally, the geometry may be transformed using a linear transformation. A hole-filling algorithm is also available for the input geometry, although these will not be used here. Next, we move to the Inlet-Outlet panel, where we can set up the boundary conditions for the simulation. Voreen automatically recognizes the center line of the aorta and creates three indicators based on this. The green indicator defines the inlet velocity boundary condition of the simulation, while the red indicator represents the pressure boundary conditions at the outlets. Within this panel we can adjust these boundary conditions, for example by changing the position of the velocity indicator. It is possible to move the indicators freely along the center line. In the Simulation Setup panel, a variety of parameters can be adjusted. Detailed description of each parameter are available in the OpenLB documentation. Unlike the boundary conditions, these parameters can be defined as intervals, enabling equidistant sampling depending on the number of simulations to be computed. For example, if the kinematic viscosity is set between 3.0 and 4.0 with 11 samples, the software will generate 11 simulations with viscosities 3.0, 3.1, 3.2 and so on. Multiple parameters may be sampled at the same time, allowing to simulate large ensembles. After configuring all parameters, click Add Parameterization to create the simulation runs. They will be listed in the small box at the end of the Simulation Setup panel. Afterwards, in the Run Simulation panel, select an implementation that should be running the simulations. To use the default implementation, navigate to Voreen, Modules, Flow Simulation, Ext, OpenLB, Voreen and select the cluster file. Then choose a folder to save the simulation results. Click Enqueue Simulations to start the simulation process. In the Results panel, simulation outputs can be visualized by selecting an input file. Navigate to the folder containing the results, then open VTK data, then select the results PVD file. This allows viewing an updated representation of the results during calculation with the option to select specific time steps. The voxelized geometry may be exported for later use in the Save Geometry panel. For this tutorial we will skip the simulation process and directly display the results. Once the simulation is complete, we can examine the three views. In the first view, the geometry is displayed inside a bounding box along with the inlet and outlet boundary conditions and streamlines. The simulated time of the currently displayed time step is displayed in the upper left. The streamline color encodes the velocity magnitude and can be read off the transfer function. The bottom left view presents an axial view of the vessel with velocity values using the same transfer function. Tabs allow for switching to a view displaying the voxelized geometry as well as the boundary conditions as seen by the simulation implementation. The third tab contains another customizable view showing an additional simulation output such as the pressure field. Returning to the Velocity tab, a cross-section region can be sketched by the user for which the velocity profile is displayed in the bottom right view.